Welcome to another edition of The Truth Zone, where truth is always stranger than fiction. And I am going to be discussing a lot of weird and eerie and strange events. And as always, I would ask that you will please like this video and share this video wherever. The first topic that I wanted to get into in today's show is this video came out the other day of these horses frozen in place. Now, what could have caused this? Is this a glitch in the Matrix?
Actively raining. My horses are frozen in time. Is this a glitch in the Matrix? What's happening? There is shelter. There is shelter. I think they're frozen. This is so weird, you guys. It's so weird. I'm so first one around. No one is moving.
And just the other day, city banks apparently experienced this massive outage. Now, could this be tied to everything else currently going on and that has currently happened? Case in point, the major blackout in Spain and in Europe in general, in parts of Europe and Spain and France and Portugal. Could this all be tied together? I don't know. You tell me. And it also seems as if they could be setting the stage for another massive event. And it just seems like all of the puzzle pieces are being put into place. Now, am I saying anything is going to happen? No, I'm not saying that. But when you begin to look at everything, it looks as if they are preparing the way, setting the stage for a major event. Check this out.
Are y'all seeing the verbiage on these headlines? And if you wait 1 second, these headlines are going to turn damning. To start off, I can hardly even believe my eyes. Terrifying warning to Americans to prepare. Prepare. TikTok is just the news to all 50 states. Scientists are urging the boss man to fight this threat that's coming at us. New York Post that this thing could be 100 times worse than what we experienced a few years ago. Now we can see where to find it. They're finding it in the Texas dairy cattle. Louisiana just had a passing away. New Zealand is actually preparing right now, as well as India, for the potential arrival. So they unalived 166 million birds. Hasn't helped at all. What's it called again? And then they say that it kills 20 more million chickens. Back in February, 500,000 were killed. So I mean, if you add all those up, my goodness, is that like almost all the chickens we have? By the way, completely unrelated, but did you know that an egg is literally a superfood and has just about all the stuff that you need in them? Wild, right? Now this right here is the craziest part. Man who predicted what happened in 2019 also predicts something else that's coming. You think you could guess what it is? All I've done in this video is state their facts.
And even right here, as you see on the screen, experts urge the United States to prepare for a potential new event as a new spreads in all 50 states. Now, I've got to be careful how I discuss this in YouTube. This video, I am just reporting on the headlines. That's all that I am doing. But again, it really seems as if they could be setting the stage for a major event to come here in the near future with all of this stuff happening all at once. You have all of this stuff regarding birds. You have all of these mysterious blackouts and everything else. There is a lot of weird things all happening at once, and it's more than just a coincidence at this point, because these people are about their chaos magic, their order out of chaos. And that's not all, because apparently the ports, some ports are empty. Now, am I saying that anything is going to happen out of this? No, I am not. I am just asking the questions, and I am just reporting on stuff that is currently happening, that is currently going on. I am not trying to instill any fear or anything like that, but it is always best to be prepared, because you never know what these people have in store. Check this out.
So people are saying that America is in for a rude awakening. They're saying that the food and those supplies that we get off of those ships might not be coming anytime soon. The ports are empty. And if you want to take it upon yourself to go down that rabbit hole, click that search button and see exactly what's going on right now in our country. Check out Seattle ports. Check out Los Angeles port. And you'll see that everything looks bone dry. It looks like nothing is there at all. And for those of you that don't know what that means supplies aren't coming. And if those supplies don't come, the supplies that we apparently take for granted, what are we supposed to do? Basically what that means is prices will go up, and those shelves that we're used to seeing packed and filled with items, those shelves are going to be empty. They're saying that 40% of the ships that they have right now are empty. I don't think y'all hear me. Do you understand what that means? And again, there aren't any international ships at those ports in Los Angeles and Seattle. Something is wrong. I heard a couple of people say that the last international ship that's coming into those ports is going to be on April 29th. That's the last one. After that, what are we going to do? I'm going to end this video off with this. Look at this. Look at this right
map
here.
is the port of Shanghai, and all the yellow ones are cargo ships. Blue ones are fishing ships, right? When it's moving, it has an arrow, right? It's a triangle. Then those round dots, I think they parked there, right? This is the port of Shanghai, and this is port of Los Angeles.
You see that right there? Empty.
Both port are the
It
biggest
is
port.
empty. I don't think I need to say anymore, right? Pay attention.
I hope y'all waking up and actually paying attention to what's going on right now. The California ports, one of the busiest in the world, is looking hella empty right now, y'all. It's no ships pulling in, no shipments going out, and they trying to tell us, oh, don't worry, it's just because of the tariffs. The tariffs is the reason why this is happening. Maybe it is a little bit of the tariffs, but what else is it? Y'all just seen what happened the other day in some parts of Europe. Power outages. I'm talking blackouts everywhere. 50 million people was affected. And they talking about some solar activities. And now the supply chain is drying up quietly? I'll ask yourself, what moves easier through empty ports? Goods or something else? You think they clearing it out for business? Or they clearing it out for something they don't want to tell us? We gonna have to figure it out once it happened. Y'all gotta remember, every time history changed overnight, it started quietly like this. I'm telling y'all, we haven't seen the full picture yet, but best believe, already in motion, y'all.
And speaking of the power outages that happened in Europe, parts of Europe and everything else, Spain, Portugal, and parts of France, look at this right here. Remember when they talked about the mission to dim the sun? Now, could that have had anything to do with what went on in parts of Europe? Could them doing these tests to try and dim the sun, could this be the result of what happened in Spain and Portugal and in parts of France? It is very strange how all of this just came out about how they are openly admitting to wanting to dim the sun to quote unquote cool the planet. And then you had this event happen in Spain and Portugal and in parts of France, this massive blackout event, and they are saying that it was an atmospheric event at that. So again, could all of this stuff be connected?
I'm on to the grand scheme. Follow me for a second. First off, the blackout was not a cyber thing. More videos coming out about the strange thing that covered up the sun yesterday morning that they tried to hide. Made a video about it last night showing just how big it was and bringing up nodes and kachinas and other stuff, right? Then today they come out and they say it happened because a giant solar flare. Then all of a sudden the world, or part of the world, was plunged into straight darkness. No phones, no nothing.
By the way, this is all satire.
They want you to think they have more power than they really do. They're diviners and witches, so they do know what big events are coming in the future. Completely irrelevant. Watch this for 1 second.
Sufficient attention to the frightening scenario of a comprehensive cyber attack, which would bring to a complete halt.
Completely irrelevant, not related at all. But I'll say all the higher-ups, all the big people in this world, they know what's on the way. The changing of density and mass with these celestial objects going over and going around us and making certain pathways, weakening the Earth's crust and other things. Which is why we have the whole pole shift narrative. Of course their narrative is off, but there is something. And that's something they want to take credit for. So when the world goes dark, it's not just dark, but there's major controversy all over the place. You could call it tribulation. Because the auroras in the Carolinas and all the crazy blasts on the Schumann frequency, all this stuff is not normal. Them hiding giant things going by the sun is not normal. Bookmark this video because these planetary bodies are just getting started. Let me know what you think below.
And look at this right here. They don't even know what caused this power outage. Now, those of you that are awake, you know exactly what is going on. But as you can see on screen, as you can read, they are blaming this on an atmospheric event. So could this be tied to them wanting to dim the sun, and they are doing test runs right now? I don't know. I guess time will tell, because even right here it says massive European power outage blamed on solar plant breakdowns. And do you see where all of this is heading? How more of the focus has been on renewable energy like this, like, case in point, look, solar plants. And they are talking about wanting to dim the sun because look, if they have everybody on quote unquote, electric vehicles and stuff like that, they can shut the power off at any time. Then how are you going to charge your vehicle to get to where you need to go? Exactly. So this is why all of this stuff is tying together, because they don't want people to drive in regular gas powered vehicles. That's just my honest opinion. They want everybody on these electric vehicles, this electric vehicle craze, because if they have everybody on this, then if they shut the power off one day, well, guess what? You are stuck. And this is what they want. And they want you to own nothing and be happy. But again, I'm asking this too, what caused this partial solar eclipse? Because apparently we were not even supposed to have any solar eclipses scheduled for April at all. And then it comes out that NASA says that they caught a solar eclipse visible only from space. So first, the story was there were no scheduled solar eclipses for April, and then NASA is saying that there was a partial solar eclipse. Obviously, do I believe NASA? No, I do not believe NASA, and I know pretty much everybody that watches my channel and other channels like mine, I know that you don't believe NASA either. But the fact that they don't know what is exactly going on or what has caused this mysterious blackout, or what caused, I should say, this mysterious blackout in Spain and in Portugal and in parts of France, it's just very odd stuff to say the least. And honestly, I believe that this is a test run for things to come.
Turning to one of our top stories today, power has slowly been restored in parts of Spain and Portugal after a major blackout brought much of the two countries to a standstill. Yuka Roya from our business desk joins me for more. Hi, Yuka.
Hi, Inka. So Spain has declared a state of emergency and deployed police to ensure safety in cities. Emergency workers rescued more than 280 people who were stuck in lifts. While there's been no indication of a cyber attack, the outage has caused major disruption across different sectors. Luke Schrager has more on the chaos.
Traffic lights out and vehicles stuck in jams, with the metro blacked out and trains nationwide at a halt. Scenes like this multiplied across both Spain and Portugal on Monday after an unprecedented power cut across the peninsula around midday local time.
We thought that it was just our streets, but we realized that it was across the entire city.
We cannot put down the shop gate. We're a bit cut off, waiting to see what's going to happen, like everyone else.
In Portugal, motorists and pedestrians were left to their own devices before police could begin to direct rudderless traffic, and authorities were urging people not to travel by vehicle. The metros in Lisbon and Porto shut down too, with people reportedly trapped in trains. Mobile phone networks both there and in Spain all but went down entirely, with many people cut off not just from communications but their money too, with bank machines out of action. Without internet, many were resorting to radio to find information as authorities scrambled to react.
Our technicians are working to determine the cause and find, and that's our priority, a solution as soon as possible. Spain has recovery plans to confront this type of scenario.
Main emergency departments at hospitals were still online thanks to power from generators, though some units were left in the dark. And airports suffered delays, though were still managing to get flights out thanks to emergency power.
So, we've heard about all that disruption, on the travel lines, but of course this could have a significant impact on the economy as well.
Yeah, it is, of course, too early to put a price tag on today's event, but power outages in general are costly.
Also, notice how Pedro Sanchez, the Spanish prime minister, notice how he is flashing the pyramid hand sign. Because if you know why this is the case, because all of these people flash the same hand sign, the same symbols, because all of these people are part of the club. Trump, and the list goes on. All of these people, Elon, it doesn't matter who. All of these people are part of the same club. They are part of the same agenda. And I mean, this guy is a WEF puppet at that. And listen to what he has talked about in the past.
Putting an end to anonymity on social media. In our countries, no one can walk the streets with a mask on their face or drive a car without a license plate. No one can send packages without showing an ID or buy a hunting weapon without giving their name. And yet, we are allowing people to roam freely on social networks without linking their profiles to a real identity. This paving the way for misinformation, hate speech, and cyber harassment, because it is facilitating the use of bots and it is allowing people to act without being held accountable for their actions. Such an anomaly cannot continue. In a democracy, citizens have the right to privacy, not to anonymity or impunity, because with those two, social coexistence would be impossible. That is why I believe we must push forward the principle of pseudonymity as the functioning element of social media, and force all these platforms to link every user account to an European digital identity wallet. This way, citizens could use nicknames if they want, but in the case of a crime, public authorities would be able to connect those nicknames to real people and hold them responsible. Because accountability is not an obstacle to freedom of speech. It is an essential complement to it. On social media user, or it's much better to say, one social media user, one real ID. This is the only way to really ensure that minors do not access inappropriate content, that people who commit crimes are banned or prosecuted from social networks, and that the millions of fake profiles that exist and influence the public conversation are
and it is very interesting how he mentioned a real ID at that, and now how the U.S. is really pushing for these real IDs, even though the act has been passed for years. So I find that very strange in and of itself. And one has to wonder if these real IDs will eventually tie into things here too, with a digital ID and everything else, because most states are allowing you to put your ID on your phone now. So it seems as if the final stages, the final steps are being prepared. And this has all been predictably programmed on shows like on Netflix and other places like that about a possible blackout. Case in point, Leave the World Behind was about a cyber attack, and the Obamas were behind that movie. And then Netflix released a new miniseries called 0 Day that was about a cyber attack. I mean, come on. And even this headline right here, could the plot of Netflix's 0 Day occur in real life? I mean, this is all predictive programming because they have been planning this for quite some time.
1,402 people died. on 0 day.
Absolute nationwide terror.
Computer systems completely hijacked. Every phone in America displayed the same haunting message. This will happen again.
Congress is authorizing a special 0-day commission, hunting down anyone who aided and abetted.
He's just going to grab people off the streets without warrants.
This is the greatest affront to civil liberties ever.
The public finds out how deep this really is. I don't think we survive that.
This really could happen.
The aftermath of a devastating cyber attack that kills thousands of people.
In the aftermath of that attack, country forms the 0-day commission.
This commission that's formed has more power than anybody has ever had in the history of the country.
Grab people off the streets without warrants.
Actually, you are.
All of the things that we have in place to check people's power are all paused, and the commission can do whatever they want.
What would unfettered government really look like? What would all-powerful government do?
I think what's exciting and propelling about this show is that it feels like something that could actually happen.
How would the federal government respond to that? And are we prepared to deal?
So there definitely is a lot of weird things going on, a lot of weird things happening all at once. It seems as if all of this is connected in a roundabout way. Even the animals acting weird. It makes you wonder what they are doing to the skies above us and everything else, because the animals are acting weird and just everything is just strange. Even the weather has been weird. Everything just feels off, at least to me. Am I the only one that feels like this, or do you feel like this too? And as always, I would ask that you would please, yet again, please consider liking the video, commenting down below, sharing this content wherever, because any and all engagement will help this video and all of my videos get into the algorithm for more people to see the content. As always, this is your host, Truth Seeker. God bless each and every one of you. And this is Truth Seeker signing out.